Hello everyone, it's Teresa. How you doing today? Welcome to the new hashtag event, Trash to Treasure. I'm excited about this one. I love to recycle. Our substrate tonight is cardboard, and what you see in front of you is an old cable modem through a charter. It's just the box. And what I did is I put white gesso over the top. You're going to need a flat brush. You're going to need a variety of brushes that can make little flicks and whatever. These are just some of my abused brushes because I'm not going fancy. This is all that we have, okay? I have some sea sponge, and I have a variety of colors. What I'm going to start with first is my sky. I'm going to start off with some lemon zest. Alright? So I'm going to put some lemon zest over here on my plastic wrap because, to be completely honest, there's no way in Dickens I'm going to go and clean a palette right now. And frankly, I don't want to. So I will show you what I'm using. Lemon zest, orange sorbet, and red barn to start my sky. Gonna do a little bit of a fiery episode. We're gonna have us some fun with this one. And my blue color is turquoise. And we're gonna do a Bob Ross fall painting on cardboard. So we're gonna call this the Bob Ross of cardboard. I think that'd be cute. I'm gonna start with your lightest color, which mine is yellow, and I'm just gonna lay in a circle. And I'm gonna keep just laying in that circle, because I'm going to make it pretty. And I'm going to continue coming over here a little bit and move those brushes out of the way. As you can see, this yellow is pretty vibrant. You could do this on a black canvas, white canvas. You could do this on paper. As the theme of this hashtag event is Trash to Treasure, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to clean that brush off really well, and I'm going to move directly into my orange. And I'm going to remind myself to blend it lightly and just come over like this. As you can see, I've got a little too much water on that brush. And we're just going to attempt to make this look beautiful. I'm going to wipe the rest of that brush off, and I'm going to lightly clean that brush, take a bit of yellow, and that's how I'm going to blend my sky. Just like this. Okay? Don't worry about the bottom part. We all have a process for this. I'm going to put more yellow in, just like this. I should do this toward you so you can see what I'm doing. I apologize. I'm being a canvas pig, and that's not right. So what I'm doing is I'm laying that in, just like that. Okay? Take more yellow, and just come straight across. Then I'm going to go and clean that brush. I'm going to go to the red. I'm going to be very careful with this color. And I'm going to just now you're going to ask yourself why I did the moon shape or sun shape on the top. And I will explain that to you as I want it to be able to blend easier for on cardboard. Because like I said, most of the times you would just do a full circle and then you would go in with your trees, but we're going to lay in some really pretty textures here, so I want to make sure I have that blended. So now I'm going to clean that brush off really well. And I'm going to go into my orange. And we're going to fade that orange into the red. You see what I was talking about? Oh, that's pretty. I'm going to clean that off again. Go straight into the orange. And put that orange right there. And I'm going to go straight down. I'm going to pick up some more of that yellow. And I'm going to blend that back up into the orange. Just like that. And I'm going to keep moving this color straight up. Okay? I'm going to take the blue. Here we go. A bravery test. Here we go. You ready? And I'm going to put that blue right above the crescent shape. And you're going to find something that's going to happen that is just gorgeous. You're going to find that it's going to blend absolutely beautiful once I get more paint on my brush here. I've got way too much water on that brush. That's better. Take more of that lovely deep turquoise, by the way. And I'm going to just let that go down, put a little water on it, not a lot, into that red. Okay? I'm going to clean the brush, and we're going to go directly back into our red. So when you're blending acrylics, you're going to take your lightest color, you're going to take your next to your lightest color, your medium color, and your dark color, and you're just going to blend them and blend them and blend them. Sort of like makeup. Now I'm going right into that red again, and I'm putting that red right there. Right where that red started. Okay? And I don't mind if there's purple that comes through with it, because that's part of it. And to be honest, I like that. And make sure I get that brush cleaned off really well. And make sure we're still filming. Come through here and just lightly, oh so lightly, blend that sky down. Just like that. To me, that screams beautiful. Alright, let's turn this around here. I'm going to dry this off real quick. It's not a big deal, just a quick dry. Because I see an area where I want to hit more blue. It just takes a quick little minute. It's no big deal. You're going to find the texture of the cardboard is absolutely delicious for this. Okay? Clean that brush off. Now this is where I want to dry my brush really well. I want to do a dry brush technique. Go straight into that blue, and I'm going to go just to the top where I see I need more color. I have to put a little more blue out on my palette over here. Okay, there we go. Whew, let's get ready here. There we go, and I'm going to just gently dry brush that right there. I'm not worried about this here that doesn't want to cover, because it's already covered. It just adds texture to the sky. Alright? Clean that brush off. I'm going straight to my black now. I'm using black tie. I'm going to turn it towards you so you can see how we blended that sky. And let me tell you, if you can't afford the heavy-duty canvases out there, and you want to practice and you're scared of the cost, this is the way to learn. Trust me, I wouldn't lie to you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that same brush, okay, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to lay in black. But I'm going to leave sort of a straightish line across that yellow. And I don't care if it's a solid black or just a faded out black. Okay? This is our ground. So we have a lot of sky, but a little bit of ground. Personally, I think that's the way it should be. A lot of sky. Okay. Gonna just put all that right there. I can feel where the canvas is grabbing and where it's not. That's perfectly a-okay. I'm going to make it so that there's a little hill that comes up into the lovely yellow right there. And pull that down. I'm going to throw that in my brush container. And we're going to heat set that. And I'm going to turn it towards you so you can see how we did that. Okay, I'm going to just dry this real quick. Normally I wouldn't really dry this, but I can tell that the gesso is sort of pulling in spots. And that's a challenge you're going to have on real canvas. So working with cardboard is going to prepare you for the challenges of inexpensive canvases and paper, or expensive canvas and expensive paper. Either way, you're going to learn a lot, trust me. And if you make mistakes, you just gesso over it and keep using. Oops, did you see what I did? I got it too hot right there and it bubbled up. That's okay. It'll cool down. It's going to prepare you for when you start really getting into things. I'm going to cut this sponge. And it's going to help you in the future when you start doing a lot of your paintings and things. I'm taking a dry sea sponge, patting it off on the side, and I'm coming in and I'm just going to lay in a little bit of randomness. And you're going to move your sponge in different ways. Get that one out of there. And I kind of move it around. And I need more black out of my surface, can you tell? Alright, let's get started. I'll show you this way. You're going to need to just pounce the color in. You're going to make tree shapes. Like this. Get that down there. And then you're going to make like little more tree shapes. Give him some friends. As Bob Ross would say, he needs some friends. You don't want a lonely world out there. Now I'm going to cover this just a bit more. Not so see-through. Because it's towards the edge of the painting. That's the way I am anyway. I'm going to put some over here. And we're going to finish it up. What? We're almost done? Yeah. How cool is that? Come out here a little bit. Give it a little more texture. And maybe block this off just a wee bit more. Right like that. Do you see how well we did that? Isn't that delicious? I'm not throwing that sponge in any colors yet. I can clean it off. And I'm going to dry this real quick and we're going to finish up. Can you believe how easy this painting is so far? Wow, it's almost ridiculously easy, isn't it? We're not out to copy Bob by any means. We're just out experimenting with his techniques in the acrylic world. I'm not an expert on landscapes by any means. I just like to have fun and teach people that life doesn't need to be expensive. I'm going to move this back here so I don't turn that camera off. I will upset myself something greatly. Can you just believe how beautiful that is? Wow. I am absolutely in awe of this. And I can see where the paint's bubbling up there, but I'll just use that as texture because we're not quitters. Okay, I'm going to throw that sponge in my water back there. That's really filthy. And keep my clean one up here. Now you're going to do what we like to call the trunks of the trees. This is where it's going to get fun. I'm moving things around on my counter here. I tend to lose a lot of space when I paint. You're going to need a dark brown, which is bittersweet for me, and a light brown, and I'm using cinnamon. light cinnamon. Okay. And I'm going to use, get it out here, just a round brush. Okay, I'm going to turn it towards me. And I'm using my dark brown. I'm going to get it just a little bit more wet, not real inky, but so that it moves freely. Here we go. And I'm going to lay in a little tree base right here. I'm going to come in and get a little bit more. And if you find it's not dark enough, go to your black, take your brown, and mix them together. And that will give you the dark you're looking for. And I'm using craft paint on purpose for this, as I want you to see, it's got way too much paint on the tip, how easy and fun this is. Okay, just like that. Keep my fingernail from digging into it, we'd be all set, wouldn't we? And there's a tree off the side here, so we're gonna play him pretty cool. You're not gonna be able to see much when it comes to your trunks or your trees until we actually do the painting of it in. This is gonna be a big tree. Okay? Tree trunks aren't straight up and down, they're all kinds of sizes. So if you have a strong wiggle hand like I do, especially after coffee, this is going to be your best friend. Okay? I'm going to take this one, lay it in like this, lift up to the top, just lay it in. And like I said, you're not going to see this yet until we do the light color on top of it. Cleaning that brush off and setting it aside. I have a little dauber brush. This is a spotter brush, but it's really great for doing the limbs of the tree because it's tiny. And I didn't feel like getting new brushes out tonight, even though you saw me. I have them. I just didn't want to do it. So this is where I'm going to push very lightly. And I'm going to come off out to here. Okay. Pick a bit of that black up with that brown so I can make sure that the limbs to the tree are showing. Do you see how we're doing this? Okay, so I'm going to come up here. And I come over here. I'm going to take a bit of that brown with that black. We're going to go right here. Okay. I'm going to keep working your trees, and I guarantee you'll have a lot of fun. So we have this tree over here in the corner, and he's going to have a little limb that comes across the top of that tree. Trees are fun. I thought they were hard at first, but I'm telling you, friends, you get a tree done and you're set for life. You can do any painting you want if you can do a tree. I know you're having a hard time seeing what I'm doing because the colors are so dark, but I guarantee you, once you get your mind wrapped around it, see right there, put too much paint, that's okay. I don't really care. Okay? You're going to do a little thing like this because it's just going to be a little bush anyway. I have a paintbrush over here that's wet, so if that really were to bother me, I'd come in and just scoop it up with my finger like this. Take that exact same brush I have in my hand, make sure the tip of it is not all the way around, and I'd wiggle that out, just like that. Okay? Now we have this big boy over here, so we're going to use our hands very lightly, and we're going to just Give him a little more of an arm here. And he's reaching up for the sky. He's a big old tree here. And he's going to go off the very top of the page. Because that's what they do. They grow and grow and grow. I'm just going to go like this. It's going to have a little limb over here. And that is done. This one here, we're going to lay one in there too. Oops. There we go. Almost had too much black on that, but that would have been okay. We could have fixed it. And we're going to put this tree right there. And I'll lay this over here. And just like this. Okay? Just like that. Now I know you're saying, I can't see it. You're not meant to yet. You will see it now, though. Okay, I need a very dry brush. And that's this one. And it's kind of stiff bristled, and I like that. I'm going to pounce it into my brown. Okay, here we go. You ready? Deep breath. And you just put the trunk of a tree in. Very lightly, very gently. These are in the background, so you're not going to have a whole lot of detail. Okay? You're just going to lay this color in like that. And now you're thinking, dang, this is easy. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun, too. Now, this tree comes off the side, so we're going to give him a little more of a foot right there. And his little limb, we'll imagine one right there. We're going to go right here. Oops. See, it's easy to erase with your finger when your paint is dry. And I like that. We got a little limb over here. No big deal. As you can see, you just laid your trees in. Now this one, I have to really focus on because this is a tiny little one here. Whew. Boy, we did ourselves in with this one, didn't we? Nah. You just brush lightly on. Like that, okay? I'm going to say this one has a stunt of growth. It wants to be big and strong, but it just can't quite get there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lightly brush that down. Like that. So somebody cut the top of the tree off. They forgot that it was alive. This is a big one here. Oof, let's have some fun. And I'll lay this down. As you can hear, I'm not pushing very hard. But I am having fun. The cardboard has texture. As you can see, that's not going to work, so I have to pick up this one, because the other one's a little bit too wide. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Perfect. Oh, I'm relaxing. There's just something relaxing about doing trees, isn't it? Oh, I just love it. So we've got this little guy here, so let's give him some love. There we go. He's way back there. We're going to come right over here. Go right into that light cinnamon and give this one some love. So you can see, oops. That's what fingers are for. Lightly, Teresa. Very lightly. Don't ever let it be said that you can't make something out of junk. Because cardboard does not always recycle. Okay? So if we can save the planet, and save our pocketbooks, and we can have us some fun. You ready to put in some color? Let's put in some color. I have 3 greens out. I have avocado. That's my dark green. I have cactus, my middle green. And I have wasabi green is my pale green. This brush used to be an angle brush, but as you can see, it got kind of fat. I like that. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go dark, medium to light. Okay, so I'm going to hit my dark first. I'm going to take some of the paint off, and I'm going to pounce. Right into that black. Okay? And you're just going to pounce around. You're going to want to leave holes for birds and things, so don't forget to, leave some shape for the birdies to get through. And I'm going to go right here. Take a deep breath. And I'm going to just vary the strokes to this tree. It's not hard to do. It's a lot of fun. But it is a little hard to do from my side, seeing it from the side angle. So, let me get this in here, friends, okay? And we can continue on. See how we just laid that in there nice and neat and tidy? I'm going to go after that with my middle color now that I've got the dark on there. Okay, watch this. Poof. I'm going to turn that brush around. And make sure that it's all connected. Okay. And come up to this tree, and I'm just going to tap in all kinds of flavor, because I like that. Oops, don't want to go into that color yet. Okay, so we have this color here that we have to, way too much on that. There we go. We got it pounced off. You're going to want to leave just a little bit to the imagination. Now, if you're finding that it's too pale, just go into your dark green and get some green on there, Teresa. Just do this, and it'll blend in fine. Just like that. Don't worry about crossing over your branches. You're going to want to do that a few million times, okay? Now, you're going to not clean that brush. You're going to go straight into your dark again. Which I should have done there in that spot and I forgot. Apologize. I knew how to fix it. Go to this tree here. Alright, since it's just a little guy. And come out like this. Vary the strokes. Okay, just like that. You can come down a little further in areas. I'm going to take that green again. Boy, I didn't need to put a big lot on that one, but I did. And just kind of lay that in. Don't bother cleaning your brush and go into your palest green. Alright, tap it off. Here we go. You ready? You're going to go in and just lightly go right over those dark spots you want. The change in color isn't so severe as one would think, but it is enough to make it really look like it's something special. You would normally use a pouncer brush or a deerfoot stippler for this. I didn't, and I like the effect really well, so you can see where we're going with it. It's going to dry and fade in, so don't worry, but if you feel like you've got too much, like right here it looks too bright, just go in and add a bit of that green right over the top of it. and you're going to be just fine. It'll blend it back perfect. Now we're going to come over here, and we're going to work on this tree, because this tree is our dark tree. So we've got some little leafy bits and things going on here, and we have to come back in here and various our strokes around here. Don't be afraid to turn your brush while you're painting. That's the fun part of painting. And here is, oops, too much. I'm going to come right out to this leaf here, or this limb, Teresa, and just gently tap it in. I'm going to go to the dark one more time. And I see I'm going to go down here just a wee bit more. And that's going to be perfect. Do you see? Oh, I guess you can't. It's too shiny. Do you see how that looks? Upside down? Because I'm crazy tonight. And then take the same green, love. And go back in after that. Okay. There's a little limb over here. And get it so you can see. There's a little limb over here. And there's one right there. You're going to tie them all nice and pretty together. And then you're going to go into your middle green again. I'm going to tap till you can't tap no more. And I don't worry about being perfect, because there's nothing perfect in art. And if you want to make a lollipop tree, make a lollipop tree. Just put some little kids around it and have some fun. Okay? Oh, here we go again. You're going to go into your dark green. We're going to go after this big boy here. This big boy needs some love. And we're just going to lay in. And we're going to imagine that there's a branch right across the front of that tree. I'm going to go straight into that green again. I'm going to go over the bad boy's branch right here. And I'm going to say that he's growing. Okay. You could lay black in, but I didn't want to lay the black in. I want to just work with the greens. Sometimes people run out of black, and that's okay. I'm showing you how you can adapt. I like that a lot. You don't want to mess too much with the background darkness. That's going to give you depth. Okay? Going back to that dark green, and I'm going to come right into this tree limb right here. And we're going to make it look like the tree is just a tiny bit bigger on the bottom here. Just kind of keep laying in some different angles to this tree. And we can come out just a bit further. I don't want to lose all of my sky. So now I'm going to rinse that off because it's getting right up into the ferrule. Make sure it's good and dry. And I'm going into my palest color. So let's do this. Let's have some fun. Yeah, this is relaxing. I like to do little pictures like this. This is going to make you feel like you accomplished everything you set out to do. And it should. Nothing in art should be too much to where you can't handle it. And believe me, when you come to this channel, I want you to know that you can take your garbage and make it perfect. Okay? We have no issues with that, do we, friends? So as you can see, I'm varying the strokes to this tree. I'm turning my brush every different direction to make it look like the tree is not just one spiraled down little triangle. I've done those. When I first started out, I used to get so mad at myself. I was like, why can't I get this? Oh my God, this is complicated. And then I started relaxing when I started watching other people's channels, and I'm like, that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm making it too perfect. I have to get in and make it ugly first. And with acrylic, you will make ugly first. But you're going to soon learn to make it beautiful. Okay, so you're just going to turn that brush every direction. Okay? And I'm going to exaggerate and go out the branches a little bit. Do you see? We made a pretty tree so far. Isn't that gorgeous? Now we're going to lay in a little bit of grass. How I'm going to do that is I'm using the same stippler brush. Alright. Here we go. Now, I thought about doing a little bush there yet, but there's an idea that I have. I'm going to take my darkest green and I'm going to just lay in the colors straight on like this. Okay, I'm not going to worry about, you know, being perfectly straight line because you don't want that. You're going to kind of go up onto the tree a little bit. And I'm going to go down and leave some dark spots till about right there. Alright? I'm going to take the same dark and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just work it up and around like this. In a row, but not really in a row, but kind of move it down a little. Okay, so you can see that the ground has movement. It's not just straight, level plane. Here, I will help you see. Okay, so I'm going to take the brush, try to make it so that you can see it, and you're just going to just tap your way to beautiful. Okay, don't be afraid to kind of variance the grounds here and there. Okay, it's going to give it some texture. So the same over here. Let's say this way, we'll go this way a little bit. And then we'll kind of lead off like that. Okay, that's no big deal. That's pretty cool. Alright, now you're going to clean your brush off. You're going to go to your medium color now. Okay, you're going to want to dry it off pretty well. Make sure that it's not hyper colored, meaning it's not wet and full of pigment. And here we go. You ready? I'm going to start over here. And I'm just going to bring a little of that up into there. Come back down and tap it here. Okay. And then I'm going to just bring this up over here. Get a bit more on my brush. You can see what I'm doing. I hope you can anyway. Sometimes it's difficult for me. I'm going to lay that in like that. Okay? That's pretty, isn't it? That's just going to bring you some different textures. Working from this from the side is a little tricky, let me tell you. We're going over here now. In fact, what I might do is I might step behind you so I can see. Alright, you ready? Hopefully you can see. Okay, we're going to come in like this. Lay in our grass. Make it all nice and pretty. Don't be afraid to blend them a little. That's where you want it to be. You want your land to be seen. Okay? I'm going to come over here to my palette. I'm going to get a bit more of that same color. I'm going to turn it towards me for a second. And I'm going to get in there and really just lay some different colors in over this. Alright, just like that. Cleaning that brush off. This has been fun. I'm going to take that light green. Here we go, loves. You ready? And oops, way too much water on that brush. Whew. That's okay. That's the good thing about having dry acrylic paint. You can do that. I'm going to go up into this tree. Well, it's not a tree, listen to me. The grass area. And I'm going to just keep laying in little grasses. Don't kill all of your black. It's going to add depth. But you do want to make sure that your colors are somewhat blended. I'm going to come right here. Go up into the tree. The tree again. Listen to me. Goodness, friends, I'm trying. You're going to come in with your light color and go in where your grasses are at. There, I got it said. Yay for me. Now we're going to do some really surprising things here in a second. Okay, so we're just going to keep lightly tapping this color in. Okay? Go right up in there a little bit. Leave some of it dark. This needs to be a bit brighter because it's the closest to you. So that's pretty much where my thought process is at on this. And I'm not closing this off because there's a reason. Alright, I'm going to put this like this. And we're going to just lightly maneuver the paint. Alright. There are 2 steps to do. Maybe 3. I think 3. I'm going to take my white. Okay. I'm going to take that same brush that we dry brushed the trees in, and we're going to go right after it like we did the other. Are you ready? Here we go. This is just going to have a little bit. This is going to have a little more. And this is going to have quite a bit of white. Just to lay in a little bit of the shadow color. So you have a light side, a dark side, front side, back side, you know what I'm saying. We're just having fun. Okay, so the light is coming in, so we have to do just a little bit on this side. Okay. Just a little touch. And a little touch right through here. And then we're going to go right into this big boy. And a touch the limb in the sky. And just a few little areas. Okay? There we go. Now we're going to take the brown on this brush. I don't know if that one's going to work. Let me get my flat brush out. That's got black on it. That's okay. Didn't realize painting on cardboard is going to take a little bit, did you? Alright, you're going to go right into that brown. You're going to take your flat brush and you're going to zigzag. Back and forth. Now you're probably asking why we're going to go over the leaves and the trees that we did, or the grasses, I mean. It's a little path. We don't know where it's headed. We just know that it's there. Now I'm going to go straight into that black again. I'm going to go right over that gently with that black. Just like this. Okay. Now rinse that off. Dry it on my shirt. Don't tell my dad. I'm just playing with it. Okay? I'm going to step behind you and we're going to do this together. So we have that black here. Okay? You're going to lightly just come in and gently. Oh, so gently. Just tap in a little path. I'm going to reach over here, get more of that white. That would work. So you're going to just lightly. Oops. I didn't mean to hit the camera lips. I apologize. Like that. Okay? Now if you feel it's too white, which it is, we're going to fix. Simply put, we're going to fix it. I'm going to go right into that brown that we have, that light brown, okay? And you're just going to lightly go back and forth over the top. And you're going to have a really pretty little pathway. And I'm going over just a little further yet, because it feels good. Now, I don't know if you noticed or not, but you're going to have some reds on your palette. You're going to have some oranges on your palette left over. So here's what we're going to do. Are you ready to make a field of flowers? Let's do it. Get my little dauber. I'm going straight into my red. Are you ready? We're going to make like there's little bits of wildflowers in here. You don't have to go everywhere. You just make like little dots. Like there's little bits of flowers hidden into the growth of the grass. Okay? And we're going to come, let's say right here needs some. I'm going straight into my orange with the red. Can you believe it? Here we go. Are you ready? Bravery test. And I'm not separating the flowers. Just laying in a few hints of colors. Do you see how pretty that is? I'll lay in a little bit more of the red right over here. You don't have to go all the way down. You can just add little bits where they're at. Okay? Now you're going to need to take a very little brush, which I do not have, so I'm going to use a big one. So don't judge me if I make too big of a little stem, but you're just going to come through lightly. And you're going to just pull. Make it look like there are little wildflowers out here. And you just hit and miss. Like that. And do the same on the other side real quick. I'm going to send you off. You don't want to do this everywhere. You just want to hit and miss a few little twigs to these flowers. Stems, Teresa. Goodness gracious. And I'd like to thank you for being with me today on this hashtag event, Trash to Treasures. I want to say to you, thank you for being with me while we played with cardboard and we made a little, well, it's not really little, it's kind of pretty, canvas art on cardboard. We played with Bob Ross a little bit. We have a ways to go, but that's okay. We don't care. Bless may be in your journey, bless may be in your life, and thank you for blessing me with your presence, friends. May you have a great, safe, and happy evening. I will see you tomorrow. Stay safe.